How do you know if your boyfriend is cheating on you? Have you ever wondered if you're being cheated on by your man? Although there are several different explanations and root causes for why men cheat, including a loss of self-esteem, a desire for validation, emotional and/or physical dissatisfaction, an unfaithful partner can be devastating for any relationship, in addition to sheer lust or affection for another person. These are 10 ways to know if he's being unfaithful. Number 1. He's on his phone all the time. If he's glued to his phone unexpectedly, look out! This is a significant concern, especially if he's sneaky about it. This is a red flag if he doesn't tell you who he's talking to or what he's doing and gets upset if you're questioning him or if you happen to look at his screen. There will be nothing to hide for a guy who is 100% in the relationship and doesn't have another woman in the mix. He's not going to be constantly texting anyone else about it and acting weird. If you feel like his concentration is always elsewhere, either directed at his phone or the computer, then he may be interacting online with someone else. If he's behaving defensively about it, if he's not going to tell you anything, and he's trying to hide it from you, this is an indication that he's cheating or going to cheat. Number 2, he has become very moody. Sudden irritability is never a fun thing to put up with. However, it happens. Some individuals often go through difficult times in their lives and take it out on a daily basis on the wrong people. It might have tighter job deadlines or an unnecessarily critical boss. He might hopefully want to speak to you about that, but he may also be happy to be home. In many cases, job tension can be shown, but what if there's more to it? That might be a sign he's cheating if he unexpectedly gets angry at you about the little stuff in life, like not changing the toilet paper rule or failing to use a coaster. The guilt of an affair can also cause a person to be irritable with the individual they are with. Number 3, he's suddenly very busy with work. It may be a cause for concern if he unexpectedly has to go out of town more often, or he has a lot of late nights at the office. Whether he's been promoted recently or somehow his job has changed, this might not be anything to think about. But if you know that it's not the case and he's still showing any of the other signals here, it's a good cause for concern. Is he going out for happy hours with people from the office more often after work? This may be a way for him to spend time off the clock and away from the office with her if there's a new woman at work, to get to know her on a more personal level. It may be a hint that he's exploring the waters to cheat if he never went to work happy hours before and suddenly starts going daily. It is also likely that he uses work as a cover for whatever he is doing out there. A hard excuse to argue with is to say you have to work. Number 4, he suddenly needs a lot of privacy. Everyone wants a certain amount of privacy, and how much of it they need can be different for individuals. Some people are cool with posting or keeping their Facebook accounts open with their email passwords, while others are not. The point is, without a good reason, he won't be one way and then instantly change. There's an explanation why he used to keep his phone unlocked all the time and leave it on the table when he left the room, and now it's always locked and he takes it with him. Or he used to leave his accounts open when he left the computer, and now he signs out first. The confidentiality of his personal space is also significant. If he used to want you right when he got off work, and now for me time or a shower, he wants to go right to the bedroom first, this might be a sign that he's cheating. Number 5, technology changes. Now that technology makes reaching people easier, this not only means it's easier to have an affair, but there are many more places to be caught out as well. You can find that your man has an email address that you never heard of, or maybe he has 2 phones and only one number is known to you. When he starts taking calls and walking out of the room, another popular indication is that he always tells you it's work, and then gets defensive when you get near his phone. It might be a sign of cheating to have a second cell telephone that has nothing to do with work or their daily phone. Many cheaters hold a special phone to communicate with the person or people with whom they are involved. Number 6, your friends notice something's up. This is not something he's done, but friends and family will always find that between the two of you, things are not quite right and start asking questions. You may have fought more when you're with others, or your friends may have found that when you're together, there's a lot of stress. A common psychological mechanism is to try to paint their partner or spouse in a negative light to justify the cheating to themselves, because cheaters often feel guilty. To establish this situation, they will often attempt to provoke arguments or an uncomfortable environment. If more than one best mate begins to ask if anything between you is alright, maybe it's time to pause and reflect, particularly if you didn't notice that something was wrong. Number 7. Unexplained expenses. If there are strange payments on your partner's credit cards, or you or your partner's bank accounts, retirement accounts, savings account, etc., suddenly have less money, that's a potential sign of unfaithfulness. If you ask your partner about these expenditures and they appear untrue in their responses, they're likely to be untrue. It costs money for infidelity, presents, trips, wine and meals, hotel rooms, etc. Cheating costs can add up very quickly. That's not a positive sign if you can see big cash withdrawals or proof of sales from locations that you seldom or never frequently use. Number 8. He gets overly defensive when you ask if he's cheating. He's not going to get very upset right off the bat if he's not cheating and you show concern. I'm not suggesting that he's not going to be hurt at the idea or offended that you think of him, but he's not going to go off the handle immediately and attack you. If he does, he would probably protest too much. That goes for if, of course, it's the first time you ask if he's cheating. If you have been cheated on in the past and this is a huge concern for you and you continually accuse him of cheating, it will inevitably make any man angry and defensive. But if it's the first time you've discussed it and he goes nuts, it's a sign of a guy who's very guilty. Number 9. He is distracted by anything other than you. Although many have become relaxed in the relationship and just don't feel the need to talk a lot with each other, there may be someone besides you who has caught his interest if he can't maintain a conversation with you anymore. Does his phone or television make him appear busier than he is with you? Has the spark vanished? Are you worried that you two are not connected anymore emotionally? There are legitimate worries and indications that he's cheating, but bear in mind that being with you might just be cozy. He does not feel the need to pay too much attention to you any longer. This is not a positive indication, though, that the two of you might have lost interest in you or in the relationship. Number 10. He acts out of character. Maybe you know your man backwards and forwards, when he's happy, when he's frustrated, when he's stressed, and when he's tired, when he's bored, and when he's hungry. You know how he behaves. One of a cheating man's distinguishing features, however, is that he acts out of character, and his once normal and predictable attitudes, actions, and habits begin to alter. For instance, during football games, he might still be glued to the TV, refusing to miss a game, but now he's off in the other room with the door closed. Or maybe he used to look forward to your place, hosting dinner parties and game nights, but now he doesn't want people to come over. You can also note more subtle changes, such as when and where he charges his phone, how much time he spends in the bathroom, and how much longer he drives to and from work. Since you know how your man usually acts in many circumstances and has good insight into his personality's various complexities, any deviations from this pattern should be a wake-up call that he might be unfaithful.